What's up, y'all? I'm Courtney Jasmine, and this is my diary. Come on, have a seat because we're behind. We got some stuff to talk about, right? So the first one is my business manager got fired for theft. Crazy, crazy work, right? Um, so like a little backstory with how she even got there, right? We had a huge cut in like hours and like I don't want to say pay necessarily, but for the front desk associates, it got cut like hours and like whole positions and stuff like that. So we were very, very limited on the few people that we had. And so when that happened, we lost even more. Some people just didn't like the way that went down, so they left and we were in need of bodies. Cool. Um in the process of this, my business manager applies for a position, and she used to work at another massage franchise, right? And in the middle of her interview or after whatever, she tells them, "Hey, I've got two other people who, also used to work with me who also, want to come over here." Um Now, I don't understand why we actually agreed to this at my job because all three of them people, they did like a mass walkout. You know what I'm saying? Like they was like, "We not happy here." Boom. And it was like, okay, why would you hire the same three people that just turned around and left that business high and dry? Because what if they leave us high and dry? You know what I'm saying? Like, think it through. They didn't, and they hired them anyways, right? So the first girl, she wasn't there very long. Don't get me wrong, maybe a month, right? But she didn't necessarily get fired or leave or anything. She had a medical condition because she's knocked up, and she kept passing out. I don't know what the medical condition was. I just know they got to be by themselves sometimes. So you passing out is not, it's not good with us because anybody finna be up there with you. What if you like anybody finna catch you, baby? So she medical leave. Cool. The second one, she's still there. But I don't know. I kind of she gives me like faker vibes. Like she plays so naive to the point where it's like it's blatant. Like, you know what I'm saying? You would think this woman doesn't think very hard, but I I can tell the difference. It's just something a little off about that, right? Okay. And then of course there's the actual business manager who was just let go. And she just had a baby. I think the kid was maybe like 4 or 5 months old, something like that. I don't know. It still had coochie juice on it. You know what I'm saying? It was fresh out the pot. And she was breastfeeding and stuff. So we made accommodations basically within the schedule to where she could go and pump. You know what I'm saying? Like we kind of worked it out, and quite frankly we had the time, because what happens is the front desk people, they check folks in, do paperwork and all that other stuff, and they answer phones, yes, but for the most part they got downtime in between shifts. They get you in and then they see you when you leave, so that's like a whole hour, if not some time in between seeing people. Cool, got it, right? Now this is when the malarkey started getting getting there. Um, so I noticed, and a few other of us noticed in December, that our tips were not as frequent as they should be. But of course, you chalk that up to like, oh, hey, it's seasonal. Maybe people probably don't have money, so whatever. Like we'll leave it at that. And we just tried to it's kind of hard to clock the tips, because at the end of the day the only way that we could actually do that would be to ask the client, like, did you tip me, and how much did you tip me? You see how unprofessional that is? We can't do that. I'm not doing that. I'm sorry. That's just, yeah. um but around December we started noticing things or whatever, not not really thinking too deep about it, right? But what we were noticing was that this woman's professionalism was down the drain. I mean, the way she was talking to clients, the oversharing, some of the things she said in front of clients, just like I guess she was in the bathroom and someone was filling in for her. And, when they passed the client along, oh, well, she's here, you can take her. She turned to me and was like, oh my God, do you think that she was upset because of like I took so long? And I'm like, why would you say that in front of the client? I was like, I don't know. I just got up here and I walked off because to me, you're you're spilling tea in front of the people that pay us. Don't do that because that's mad weird. You know what I'm saying? Like this woman ain't probably want to know that you was in the bathroom that long, and she probably didn't want to know that you feel some type of way about your management because like I don't know. It's just not something I do. But I wasn't the only one that noticed it either. Like when I say everybody in the building noticed it, everybody in the building, like our clients were noticing it and like feeling some type of way, quite frankly, like, telling us basically like, hey, I don't like to deal with her. I'll deal with you, but I just don't like talking to her. Okay, fine, fine. But then it was also some kind of things like, I don't know, it seemed flirtatious in a way. Like she was talking to the client and she was like, yeah, like, you got all this money for this, like you can get me Starbucks. There's a Starbucks right next door. And it's like, oh my God, you're really gonna do it? Oh my God. Okay, well, my order is this. Ma'am, ma'am, are you getting coffee or dick? What are we doing? Because why are you talking to that man like that? Super, super awkward. You know what I'm saying? Mind you, her boss is sitting right next to her. So I'm looking at her, and I'm like, you see this. Okay. Left it alone. Because again, that's not my department. You know what I'm saying? Front desk and service providers, those are two different things because I'm not getting into what you do. You don't get into what I do. And that's just how we operate within that, right? Okay, cool. Now, also too, right? When I say professionalism, it wasn't just things that she was doing with the clients. It was also things that were going on like in-house. Like, why are you doing your personal laundry at work? I mean, don't get me wrong, stuff happens. And that's exactly what she said. She was like, oh my God, like this happened. I got to wash here for like 2 days. Just, so I'm not doing it all in one day and yada, yada, yada. Cool. But for 2 weeks, she was doing laundry, meaning that you didn't have that issue resolved and you were still going forward. You know what I'm saying? Using our washer and dryer. And then there was a whole thing going on up front. Apparently, a bill was not able to be paid, and so she was having to be on her personal phone, on the also on the work phone, and also talking to clients at the same time. That's super unprofessional. You know what I'm saying? Because gross. And then right, like no shade to her for this, but she was an ex addict. Okay, but apparently, like something happened to her sponsor. I don't know if he or she, whatever, passed away, and she was like running and crying down the hallways. Like, again, I get it. Things happen, but this is a massage place. You know what I'm saying? Like, we are quiet walking in the hallways. We lighten our feet, all that as to make so that we make it so relaxing for our clients. You doing the Sydney scream and crying, ah, go somewhere. Go somewhere because we don't need all that. We don't need all that because now my client's asking me what's wrong with you and I don't even know you enough to get in your bit. No. Yeah. Okay. So now fast forward to about a week ago. About a week ago. Sorry, I get distracted. So about a week ago, I am in session with another therapist and we hear yelling. Now there's a room behind us, but I mean, it was loud. It was loud. You couldn't necessarily hear words, but you could hear somebody screaming. And it was basically like, what the heck is this? Right. And then we thought about it and I was like, well, hell, the only place that could have came from was the office. So of course, immediately after we're done, we go up front and we nosy. And what was that? Because it wasn't just us, our clients heard it too. And we weren't the only service providers that had clients in the room along that hallway that also heard it. So they was like, oh, um, such and such got sent home today. Um, you know, we can't give too many details, but apparently it's just about like unethical practices. Strike one. You know what I'm saying? Because why'd you say it like that? Why'd you say it like that? Because my first thought my first thought was that she was tickling somebody's balls, right? Because, you know what I'm saying? What are we doing here? So I was like, all right, anyways, we'll get the answer later. So about 4 to 5 hours later, we get a text message to like the app that we use, and it's like, hey, as of effective as of immediately, such and such is no longer with us. That was quick. What happened? And apparently, after I left, because I get off at a certain time, it was like 2 hours after I had already been off, she came back to the office. I don't know what for. I don't know if they had like more engaging conversation or what that was about. But when she came back, they basically dropped the ball and said, "You're gone." The rah rah went rah rah, and followed suit basically all the way out as they walked her to her car. Now, I'm gonna tell you guys what she did, and then some other things on the side, because things are just not mathing to me the way I feel like they should, right? So apparently what she had been doing was clients that had like a large amount of credits. A credit is a massage that you have paid for or that you bought in a package, whatever, because you can buy them from your monthly membership or you buy a package with so many credits in it. Um, Clients that had excessive amounts, she was just taking them. You know what I'm saying? And giving them to herself. Okay, now a few things with that, right? For policy reasons, I'm not really sure what the policy is. Anyways, anytime you want to transfer a credit, it is a $10 fee. You are only allowed to transfer one credit a month. So she, again, this is what is being told to us. She apparently had taken a total of 42 credits. 42 credits, which means that if I'm mathing correctly, that's what, like $420, right? Because the $10 fee, the transfer fee. Okay. Well, she was not paying all the transfer fees. If she was giving herself a discount. So a discount on $10 is like nothing, right? And then she was completely waiving the fee on some of them. Now, in one instance, she took 12 from one client alone. That's $120. Yes. Why you would transfer such an excessive amount and then waive the fee to do it, all while in the system? That's just like bad criminal stuff. I don't she didn't know how to criminal very well. Not that, like I do, but I would have done better than that, because what do you mean? What do you mean? Like everything is like a password. You have to have access to do certain things. So to think that that was just going to fly and no one was going to check that, crazy, crazy work. But that's what she did. Now, not just that, but apparently she was giving herself discounts on other things, because we do sell like skincare products, because we have estheticians that work there as well. They do facials and all that. Lotions, body scrubs, candles, like, you know what I'm saying? Like that spa type stuff, right? And then also, which is weird because she was already stealing the credits, but she was giving herself free services. So if you already robbed somebody, why are you not using it? Why are you not using it? Because now the service that you just did is not necessarily on the books. So you got it for free, and that service provider did not get paid. You see where I'm going with this? And she also was not tipping. It raised so many red flags. So many red flags, right? Now, apparently, two service providers from my location went to corporate and said, "Hey, this hoe is stealing. We know it. You need to investigate it." And they were not wrong. They were not wrong, because she was. But this is my problem. They only clocked her from mid-December. And that was the paper trail she left within the system. Now, when I say that we deal and operate with cash tips, right? So after I'm done with the service, my client is walked back up to the front. The front desk then closes out the account for like payment wise and things like that. The client either leaves a cash tip or a credit card tip, and both of them are like, kind of given to the front desk associate. The cash chips are put into envelopes, and then there is a place that we put all the envelopes in. There were several instances, especially for me. I can recall at least three where I went up there looking for the tip because I know my clients. You know what I'm saying? I've been there for about 2 years now. I know my clients. Um, which is probably why the other therapist knew this was going on too, which is why they told them to investigate her. We know our clients. And so when I went up there for the tip, it wasn't in the thing. And I was like, huh. And then she looked at me and was like, oh, yeah. And she slipped it out from underneath her keyboard. You stupid little whoremonger. What are you doing with my tip underneath your keyboard? And this is what gets me too, right? Because they say they did the investigation and all this other shenanigans, but they're not, I feel like they're not telling us everything, because there is no way in my right mind that I see any business doing this, not putting a camera in front of your cash register to be able to see the ins and outs. Why would you not have a camera there? I don't think that they didn't. I think that they did. I think that the problem is we don't know how much was in the envelopes. So it's kind of like either she took the full thing or she was taking a piece of it out. But how do you clock that, and how do you reimburse somebody for that? Because I mean, what if my client tipped me 50 that time, but they usually tip me like 30? You see what I'm saying? So it's like they're not saying anything about it. They're just like, oh, she was caught stealing along with some other things, and we're just going to let her go. No, no, I want her to go to jail. I want her to go to jail. I want charges pressed. And I feel like our clients should be told that their accounts were in jeopardy of fraud. Because so it's not even just about the credit part, right? Like, yeah, don't get me wrong. That's a paid credit that they took. So that's one, basically stealing money. But then you throw into account the fact that all their credit card and debit information is in the system. So that means that maybe she didn't necessarily take your money in a credit form. Maybe she took your credit card information and is paying her goddamn water bill. Maybe she took your goddamn credit and debit card information and is now buying herself a new washer and dryer since she was doing it at our job for 2 freaking weeks. Mind you, this is a very, very new mother. Not a first time mom either. She's got four. She's got four kids. And the one she just popped out, the baby daddy for that one, don't work. Why? Because he don't want to. Why? Because she... Bring it on back. Bring it on back. Because I'm not sleeping with them people, so I really don't know what that is about. Maybe that's a kink thing. I don't know. But I'm sorry. What do you mean you don't work because you don't feel like it? Babes, we're in America. Be fucking for real. You better go hop in the McDonald's line and get it together, because money is money and we need it bad. Okay, you just had a kid. Be for real. Anyways, though, right? So I get it. She was like hard up for money, but she also knew she had all these struggles when she decided to steal from the company, from the clients, and from the service members, co-workers, us. She knew she did not have money when she did this. And I'm sorry, but like to be 100 with you, get a second job. Do something. You know what I'm saying? Because now look at you. You don't have a job. But there's a few things that are like really making me mad about it too, right? So the way it all kind of shaked out, they didn't tell her boss, because obviously she's stealing. So I wouldn't go to her either, because are you helping her? Are you just not seeing it? What is this? Because this is, quite frankly, this is a lot. And that's kind of negligent on her part, right? So by the time they came to her, they were like, we're going to fire your assistant business manager. She was like, what? We're going to fire your assistant business manager for theft. She's been stealing credits. We've already done the investigation. We've concluded what was going on. We have proof of what was going on. So when I go in that building tomorrow, she's going to be fired. Okay. That's what happened. Now, rightfully so, that manager was upset because, again, you put her in jeopardy. But then, right, so makes her look bad because that corporate lady that talked to her and told her all this the night before popped up earlier than what she said she was going to do. Right. So now the assistant business manager and the girl that I told you be faking like she don't know stuff. Yeah. They're in the front working together, but not necessarily working because the girl that be acting like she don't know no stuff, she on a massage table with a facial scheduled after on the clock, You know what I'm saying? And guess where them credits came from? That's right. That's right. Came from the other one. Came from the other one. So you stealing and giving to the poor now, Robin Hood? Thank you. Thank you. Where's my goddamn credit? Because I could have used a few, my dang self, you know? Because the way these reward programs work out, I don't get too many for free. We got to like haggle and stuff in the back to make shit equal out. So that's a whole nother story, though. Whole nother story. So she gets there, baby girl's on the table. Then the manager, the one that didn't want to get in trouble, her manager, she's like, man, you're not supposed to be doing this. So then she tells her, hey, go ahead and cancel her facial. I need her up front because we have a manager's meeting. And then the girl turns to her. And this is why I say the one that be acting like she don't know no stuff, be knowing stuff. Ugh. This one is telling the other one, right? The one that was stealing. She was like, oh my God, what do you think that this is about? Like, do you think it possibly could be because I'm stealing? Or stealing this, or stealing that, or stealing this, and blah, named off like 4 things illegally that she had been doing up in the front. And this girl gonna sit here and tell her, the one that act like she don't know nothing, she's like, no, of course not. You just need to calm down. I'm almost positive it's just a manager meeting. But you don't know nothing, right? You don't know nothing. But she just told you all that she did, but you don't know nothing, right? Get out of my face. Stupid. Ooh, the lies. That's what gets me. Is that like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just be playing in my face like that. Like, I can't see the shit. And that's, gets me mad. But yeah. So then, of course, all this happens and she ends up getting fired, right? Cool. But her manager, the one that could have got fired for, not paying attention to that or not knowing that, she was like, I kind of feel bad because she does have kids. I got kids. Half this staff has kids. You have kids. Is that supposed to stop somebody? Be for real. Be for real. You don't want her to get fired because she got kids. Okay, well, she knew she had kids when she was in everybody else's pockets. So be for real. I don't feel bad for nobody. I want her in jail. I want her in jail the same way they would have locked my black ass up in jail for stealing. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and keep it across the board. You know what I'm saying? Because I promise you, had I walked in there and I had been the one stealing, they'd have called the cops. They'd have pressed charges. They'd have escorted me out with the full little cop cars and stuff and made a whole scene. They would have then alerted the clients and been like, hey, we were experiencing a fraud, such and such. But we're working on it, blase, and gone about business as regular. But no, not her. She's a mama of 4. Okay, so I'm not busting it wide open. I don't get the same respect. Be for real. So yeah, it's a little annoying because, again, I'm also like, I realize too, right? How can they really do all that? Because the only way that they could have really done all that to her was if they told their clients that they had been robbed. And you can't tell your clients you got robbed without losing business. You cannot, at this point, prove to them that their information is safe within your system. You weren't hacked. You had a person in store who had all their information, access to it, access to charge the card, and everything underneath the sun. So of course you're not going to say nothing. Because then you got to let all these motherfuckers know. And then what they're going to do, I don't feel safe. And they're going to take their money back. And that's one thing I will say. The franchise I work for, babes, you're not getting your money back. We don't do that. We will give you 1,000,000 credits before we give you 1 penny. I shit you not. We are not doing that. We're not doing that. That's money. Who? Oh, no, it's a credit now. Yeah, that money you paid is turned into a credit. We got you on a massage or a facial. Yeah, maybe some free enhancements. Get fancy with it. Let's see how that works out. Yeah, them folks ain't finna do all that. Them folks is not finna do all that. But then that makes me mad. That's the point. That's the problem. That's why it makes me mad. Is because they not finna do all that. Yeah. So yeah, that's that's that part. All right, we got some other stuff to fill you guys in on. I'll make it there. Okay. Um, we got a lot. We got a lot. Oh, and let me show you guys this part, right? Because we got a new person in the household. Mm. All right. She's a little scratchy. Ghosty. Hey, Ghosty. Yeah. So this is Ghosty. She's supposed to be my son's cat, but I think she liked me a little bit. Oh. So yeah, you'll be seeing her a lot more. All right, I'm gonna go take a shower because I just got out of the gym and I don't want to smell like this anymore. And I will talk to you guys later. Have a great night. Deuce.